Yeah, yeah. That's the More Than the Coach podcast. What's up, y'all? What's up? This your boy, Coach Marshall, from the More Than the Coach podcast. And tonight, y'all, once again, doing it big. Got another guest coming in shortly. He'll be here in a second. He doing big things with podcasting around here in the city of Saginaw. My man, is Yacht Life Chronicles. So y'all stay tuned. But I got to give you my man podcast is designed to bring people together than apart. It's predicated on we better together than separated, promoting unity instead of violence. So everyone, y'all welcome to the podcast. My brother from Yacht Life Chronicles.
Man, how y'all doing out there? Man,
What's
can you give
happening?
me 2 seconds?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay, here we go. Here we go. It just jumped on. Okay.
Okay, bet. How you doing today, bro?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good, man. How you doing, man? Thanks for having me on
Yeah,
the show, Coach Marsh.
yeah,
It
hey,
really means a lot to me, man.
hey man, it's an honor to have you, man. I know the city need to know about what you're doing, man. First and foremost, I'm gonna give you your flowers, bro. I love when I'm watching it, man. And just happened one night just to be up scrolling and seeing it, and I start tuning in and start watching, and I love the positivity that you give, and you be kicking back to the community, man. And you had some hell of a guests on there and everything, bro. So I know you've been doing big things, man. So I mean, you want to give a little bit shout out, tell everybody what you about, man, so they'll know, just what I just said, but now they hear it right from you.
hmm I'm Life Chronicles. I have a podcast that's based on We Better Together Than Separated. I'm also the CEO of my own YLC clothing line. Um, I have a book coming out. We also have a event coming up at Creators Lounge called Trap the Runway, where we'll be putting a light on the business culture in Saginaw, Michigan. I wanted to bring something to the culture as to where we can put a shed a light on entrepreneurs, and for the ones that want to be an entrepreneur, for the ones that's thinking about being an entrepreneur, this is your time and your chance to see entrepreneurs being crowned, entrepreneurs being basically, given their accolades on this day. And like I said, my podcast is based on We Better Together Than Separated.
Yes.
I just seen a lot of division, man, seen a lot of dislike amongst our people. Just a lot of not togetherness that's going on within our culture. And it's only in our culture.
Mhm.
It's not like it's in anybody else's culture. So what I wanted to do with my podcast is, man, is just bring us as black people back together.
Yeah, man, and I respect that, bro. I can't wait for the event. I'm gonna be in the building, man. I appreciate
Mhm.
the invite, man, and that's one of the things that I'll be doing too is trying to help promote people, man. Because even in this podcast game, it's sad, but it's a dirty game, you know.
It
But
is.
but my thing is we all can eat. Everybody can help each other because everybody is coming from different avenues and connecting, man. So that's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing you're doing, bro.
And that's the thing about us as podcasters. We're the new media. We're the ones that's bringing the new information. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Based on that podcaster's DNA and personality.
Hmm.
So that's the thing I love. Because I'm not. I even though I podcast, I love podcasts myself.
Yeah.
I don't watch nothing but podcasts
Hmm.
all day, every day.
Yeah.
That's all I do, man. And like I said, we just want to add some new information to the stockhouse of knowledge in a lot of the people's mind, man. And we trying to get them to be more flexible in their thinking. We trying to get them to be more free within their thinking. And
Yes.
because what's happening is that a lot of these conventional methods and a lot of these conventional ways that a lot of people has been tethered to over the years, and over the decades, it
Mhm.
don't fit into this new era. I would
Nope.
call it the post-COVID era. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Life is totally different now.
Yeah.
So a lot of antiquated conventional methods don't apply in this era that we stand in now. So I just my podcast is just based on just being a free thinker. At the
Yes.
end of the day, that your thoughts matter.
That's
no
right.
matter how small you are
That's right. And
or
that's
how
what I
small
look
you
at.
think you are.
Right now, I look at it as a small fish in this big world, man. But I'm trying to
Mhm,
get mine, and at the same time, is bring people from different avenues on, man, and give them a different perspective on what, like you said, what we see. Because
mhm,
everybody can't get it. They look at me. You a coach? How you podcasting? I mean, come on, I'm more than a coach. That's why the podcast is named that.
mhm.
We
And
do.
then honestly, what better man built for the job than you?
Yeah.
Because like I say, being in a podcast where you have to be talkative,
Mm,
you have to fraternize with people, and you have to know how to communicate with people in a certain way.
yeah.
And so as a coach, you got to have those abilities to get through to the players. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Same thing as having the ability to get through to the guests.
That's right.
So a lot of times, podcasting and coaching, it really go together because you still got to deal with people. You still
Yeah.
got to know how to fraternize and associate with people.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is that you got to know how to get out your own mind and be able to step into the minds of others to understand them.
That's true too, man. That's one of the biggest things I did have to learn is when you had guests on, find out about them, see what they like, this and that, and then you can
Exactly.
touch bases on that and everything. Like just touching about your podcast, man. I done seen you touch from many walks of life since I've been watching. How long have you been podcasting though? Can I ask you that?
I've been doing it for 3 years. I was
Okay.
down in Atlanta in a showbiz ENT.
Okay.
Um, and I learned a lot down there at Showbiz ENT, down there in the entertainment world. I had first seen what a green screen was. I had really first seen what a podcast was. I first seen my first interview. And then one night it just was on me. It was on me. And man, shout out to Greg R&B out in Atlanta. He
Yeah.
gave me my very first interview, you
Wow.
know. And Greg, he came back to the show. He just gave me a up-to-date interview 3 years later. He was
Oh,
starting his campaign in Atlanta at the time, and I was starting mine. And like I say that, and so what happened was is that I didn't know any artists. I didn't know
mm,
any upper echelon people in Atlanta to go podcast. So what I did is I went to the bottom.
yeah.
I went to Atlanta. I went over there on Forsyth Street, and I went and talked to those Jays, the junkies, and those substance abusers over there. And I
Mm,
just having a conversation, man, about how did their life get to where they at?
mm,
What do they do? What could they have done different?
yeah.
To not end it up in this homeless position. And then it what happened is it gave me a passion, for
Yeah.
people. I've always had a passion for people. I love people.
Yeah.
I love that we got two arms, two legs,
Mm,
and a neck, and 2 feet. But
mm,
the thing about us all as individuals is that we think different.
yeah.
So that's the unique part to me.
Okay.
That's why I love dealing with people, because no matter how much our physical makeup is
Mm,
that what places that bum on the ground or to that millionaire, it's your mindset.
mm. That's true.
It's your mindset. So that's what we dealing with on my, so that's what I was dealing with down there. And as I kept on podcasting, man, I just rather deal with the most important epithet of human society and all that, and that's the
Mm,
mind, man.
mm,
You got to be able to transition this. You got to be able to mature this in
yeah.
order to make the right decisions, in order to grow, and especially in this era,
Mm,
because it seemed like intellect is evaporating. Uh, Reading books is evaporating. Everybody just on their phone. I can't read a book on my phone.
mm,
I have to sit down and do it like, read them the natural way.
mm,
So, like just, like I said, and it's just evaporating the intellectual skills and the
yeah.
reading and the writing, the literature and
Mhm,
art. So I just choose to try to take me and my viewers in another way, and I try to get them to stick to their skills, their
mm,
talents, and their capability, because everybody think you can just be a winner overnight from watching Instagram, and
mm.
you could be watching that stuff and thinking this could be you in the morning when you haven't put any effort, any
That's right.
skills any type of energy into any type of nothing of your purpose.
Yeah, that's the truth too, man. It's some hard work in it. You know,
Yeah, it is. It take hard work, man. Nothing gonna come to you overnight.
no, nothing at all. And if they tell you that, they lying to you. You know,
Exactly.
I got a motto. It's called "Don't wish for it, work for it." You know, and you got
And that's the whole thing is that a lot of people don't want to toe the line to begin the race, but
mm-hmm.
they want to start in the middle of the end. You got to
Exactly.
total. You got to, in order for Usain Bolt and them to win them races, they got to start at the beginning.
Yeah, for
You know
real.
what I'm saying? They say every journey start with one step. So if you're not willing to take that first step, then you're not willing to go on that journey.
That's true.
Yeah. And I think, and you know what, Coach Marshall, in this world, man, it's so much distraction. It's so many pleasuristic things that you can pleasurize yourself with. You
Mm-hmm.
have to be more disciplined in this era right now that we're in than you have ever been in life. That's for the young, the old, the middle age, everybody.
Everybody.
It's so much pleasure, it's so much distraction out here in this world, man, that it's hard for people to stay focused.
Yeah,
You know, you know,
that's the truth, bro. And I was
yeah,
gonna ask you that too. How do you stay consistent in this crazy world we in with podcasting and just the everyday thing, especially like in our city? We
yeah,
know we know it's not easy.
yeah.
But we know it's not easy. We get a lot of negative flack right now, especially
Mm-hmm,
after a lot of the stuff that didn't happen and
mm-hmm.
everything, But at the same time, it's a lot of positive things going on in our city.
Yeah, it is. A lot of positive stuff.
So I don't know if you know about the GFL event they had at BB
I
Center
heard.
last week.
I heard, yeah.
We got the kickball game coming up in August.
Got
Comedy
the on the
show.
block coming on. The
Yeah.
on the block, yeah. We got
So
a lot of positive stuff. And I tell a lot of people like this. Being in that world of crime and being in that world of negativity that we see and we hear every day. That's only a small section.
hmm
You know what I'm saying? Like we right next to it, so we hear it every day.
Yep.
But I can't allow that to plague my mind to the point where I get distracted from what I gotta do.
Yeah.
And I mean, death then became so prevalent now.
Man.
It's since the COVID, man, it just death has become so prevalent.
Yeah.
And it's like we done become like some of us have become numb to it. Not numb to it in the way that we don't care, but numb to it in a way as to where we can't sit and be depressed and be sad or be miserable about our people dying because we still got bills and we still got to fulfill our purpose the next day.
Man, that's the truth.
I tell a lot of people, when they people pass or whatever, don't let that be a sign for you to stop what you're doing in life. Let that be a sign to keep galvanizing you to do what you do. If your mother passed and she liked to cook, well, start a Miss such and such Big Mama Kitchen, predicated from the game and the skills and the things that she gave you.
That's true.
So it's just like, man, like I stay focused. It's hard. It's hard. Like I say, you have to be, and you have to have the right people around you too. Like as far as your mate, as far as your friends, like
Yeah.
you gotta have people around you that's gonna hold you accountable to things. You gotta have people around you that's gonna have good chemistry with you as to where they can keep you on that path that you down, and they see your vision as well. So they able to say, hey man, listen, you should be doing this instead of doing that. Or
Yeah.
listen, we done did enough of this for the night because you got to podcast somebody in the morning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So it's about having a group of people around you that understand as well to keep you focused. And I
Yeah.
really think that's the most important part.
That's honestly, you said a mouthful there too. Actually, that's how more than a coach started. When my pops died, me and him used to always conversate. And I failed and hit depression for a minute. I mean, it's
Mhm.
normal, but I
Yeah.
had to think about like, would he want me to do this? So I was sitting in my basement one day and just picked up my phone, started talking about my feelings about, what I was going through, and
Hmm.
birth a podcast out of it. So
See,
you're right. You have to
see,
find something to motivate you,
you
and
know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, man. It's just, but but being able to hear those hunches too, though, Coach Marshall.
Yeah.
You was able to hear that hunch. A lot of time, a lot of people ignore those hunches and let those hunches go un go undealt with.
Mm.
A lot of times when I'm in solitude, when a lot of times I'm in confinement, I mean, in just a solitude state of mind,
Yeah.
I think and I try to figure out what is it that I should be doing? What
Mm.
is it that I need? What's my next best move? And like yesterday, I was down in Detroit, and I was just sitting there at the water, and I was just thinking, like what were you doing next? And I
Mm.
listened to them hunches. I try not to be around so much noise and have so much company in my life to the point where I can't hear myself think or hear a hunch like the one that you heard that said start your podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in life, man, a lot of people miss them hunches.
Yeah.
They got so much distraction, and like I said, they living amongst so much pleasuristic things to the point they can't. Those hunches are drowned out.
Yeah.
They can't hear them. So if that hunt say it's time for you to start that business, or that hunt say, well, go over here and get this job, or do this or do that, you can't hear it because it's too much noise around you.
Mm.
So I advise everybody, man, you got to get that peace and solitude in your life. And like I said, you got to have that right group of people around you.
True.
Because if you don't, man, you just drowning out them hunches, man. And those same hunches are the one that's going to help you get to your success.
Yeah. I mean, you hit something real powerful, bro, when you say you was in Detroit by the water. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I do, bro. I go sit by the river walk. I go to
Man,
Detroit. I go to Bay City. I'm finna go to Toledo because they got a nice one. And
we
I'm
just went to the Bay City, the Riverwalk. That was my first time doing it last week, man. I
yeah,
never did it. It was so peaceful and
it's so
tranquil.
peaceful, man. That water tell you something, man. I
Yeah,
go over
dude.
to the little cigar spot right there, and I walk over,
Hmm.
smoke my cigar, sitting right by the water, bro. And
Right, right.
like you said, you just let your mind go, and things
Yeah,
come to you, but you gotta listen, man. And
you
that's
gotta
that's all
listen,
about.
man.
Like I tell people when you're having problems sleeping at night, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I said, man, that's God talking to you. So
Hmm.
sometimes you just got to be still, listen to him, and he gonna lead you
Hmm.
in that right direction, man. But yeah,
You know.
I see
And
you
that's
been
that,
busy
and
guy.
that's that sixth sense. That's
Yeah,
that God sense. That's that
that's it.
infinite sense you was talking
That's
about.
it. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's that.
Mhm.
That's a lot of people, man. A lot of people don't know about that.
Nah, it's
Listen, that's a conversation right there by itself.
by itself, man. A lot of people run away from that too.
Yeah,
Because
man. That's that God sense when he be telling you to do. You should be doing things that you should be doing.
that's right,
You
man.
know,
That's
that's
true.
just like if you're doing something wrong, and some telling you, no, you shouldn't do that. You should do this.
That's
That's
right.
that God sense. That's that infinite intelligence.
That's right.
You
You gotta obey it, because if not,
know,
you'll pay for it later. And that's what I
yeah.
talk to a lot of these youngsters about, you know. And one of the best things I love when they contact me back and like, Coach, thanks. I heard
Mhm.
what you told me. When I'm thinking like, damn, he ain't listening. But in the long run, they hear you, but they just
Hey,
want to take some other obstacles to get there first.
right, right. And
Hmm.
then it's just the thing about these young guys, man. And I'm glad you brought that up. And because we are two of the guys that I know, what I'm saying, that's out here that's dealing with these kids.
Hmm.
A lot of these kids crashing out now. A lot
Man,
of these kids don't care about life. They don't value their life. They not valuing nobody else's life.
nope.
Anytime I get an opportunity to talk to them, I try to get them to find something that they like to do. What is it that you liked to do as a kid?
Hmm.
Maybe you got to tap back into them childlike qualities and them childlike inclinations, man. When you was a winner. Because I know because when you grow up and you become an adult, things get hard.
Yeah.
You had your mom and dad say, then your mom and dad are ready to get you out the house. You've been running, doing wrong.
Hmm.
So now you got to be independent, and now you become somebody else's problem. You're over here with this girl, and what it is that these kids ain't got no skill sets, man.
Nah.
And that's the thing about the city of Saginaw is that we need to get to these leaders and a lot of these people, man, and try to find out and see what's going on with the intelligence.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's more it's more weed dispensaries than and it's more inebriation of the city
Man,
than pushing intelligence.
For real.
That's why it's so hard. That's why it's so important that for you to push yourself in the opposite way. And
Mm,
even if you is doing it or whatever the case may be, have a balance with it. Don't forget to build your mental bank account up.
that's
Everybody want a wealthy bank account, but no one wants to build a mental bank account up. And
so
you
true.
know this, they say a fool and this money will depart.
That's
You
right.
know, you if a person build this up right here, man, a wealthy bank account will
Mm,
come as well. But you got to
yeah,
build a wealthy mental bank account first.
that's right. As Brother Lorenzo always say, you got to make deposits so you can come back and withdraw them later in life. Man,
Man, that's called.
man, he always tell my boys that when he come talk to him, man. That's
That's
Lorenzo
called.
Reynolds, the boxer. He
Yeah,
tell the kids that all the time, man.
you got
And
to put something up there.
you got to, man. And it's hard, and I work in schools. Like you said, man, I don't see books like we used to see when we was there. My backpack was full of books. These kids
Yeah,
don't have books no more,
they
so
just got their phone, man.
shit.
That phone, man, has really deterred kids, man, from education.
Mm-hmm.
Kids think they know everything, you know
Yep.
what I'm saying, and haven't dissected any information.
Mm-mm.
A kid told me yesterday when I was in Detroit. They told me I say my social media such and such. I say follow me on Instagram. They say we ain't gonna follow you because if we follow you, then we can't be. Then how can we be a leader if we follow you?
Mm.
So I said to myself, just because you push the follow button, that's deterring you from being a leader. So it's just, man, the thinking out here, man, is
Mhm.
just so screwed up, man.
Yeah.
The
And
thinking is screwed up out here, man. So shout out to my podcast, your podcast, William Brown podcast, Mike Donald podcast, Blaming on the Game with Cooking Up with Folk, because we're ones, man, that's trying to teach and that's
that's right.
trying to, because a lot of people have these podcasts and they do a lot of messy stuff with it. I didn't want to do
Mm.
that with mine.
Me
You know what
neither.
I'm saying? Like,
Me
yeah,
neither.
it's enough people doing that, and I felt like
That's right.
that any and everybody can do that. I wanted
Uh-huh.
my podcast to have some type of purpose as to where it could feed people some type of improvement, some type of way that we can move forward.
That's right. Because I mean,
You know,
I didn't see some of your shows, bro. You had some powerful men back in the days that went away for a minute, came back home, and they didn't change their lives. And all
yeah.
they doing is kicking real facts, man. And I seen one of them at the event at the BV Center, and I just went up to him. Didn't know him personally, but because of your podcast, I went up, introduced myself, and I told him, "Say, man, I appreciate what I heard on Yacht Chronicles, man." And he just stood back and smiled. He's like, "Appreciate that, bro." Because that's what we
Yeah.
need, man.
Yeah,
And that's
and yeah. I think, man, thank you for that. And man, just the fact of bringing them people to the life, them and their story, just
yeah.
being able to create a platform to give them a voice
Mhm.
is just so much elation for me.
That's right.
Because like I tell them, News 5, TV 12 ain't gonna come get y'all,
No,
but I'm gonna come get y'all. You know what I'm saying? I want to
yeah,
hear the story. We want to hear the story.
that's
It's a
right.
lot of stories around here in Saginaw,
Yeah,
Michigan, man. That's
a lot
that's
of them.
that's real relevant, man, to
Yes,
to to, to these issues and these daily issues and life circumstances that we going through.
yeah, and that's the truth, man. It's so much out here that we have to give back to these youth. Like you said, not even just the youth. I mean, it's even adults. Because I get a
Hmm.
lot of conversation from adults like, "Hey, I love what you're doing. Keep it up." Like we got a thing coming up, man. It's called the Black Man Movement.
Hmm.
And I'll be going to some barbershops, man. I'm gonna send you an invite. I got different pictures coming in, different black men, and we're gonna just hit bases on today's black men.
Hmm.
We want that to be known because all of us ain't out here doing this stuff. And
Come
even
on,
some of the
man.
ones that's out here, they still good guys. It's just they misled it.
And they just want to be respected at the
That's
end of the day. I done been
that's
there.
yeah,
They just want to be respected at the end of the
yeah.
day. If you notice these guys that get into it with each other, the first thing they say, they feel like they don't want you to quote unquote little boy them or
Mhm.
or, or, or quote unquote talk down to them in any way. So what you have to do is when you meet these young guys, man, you got to talk them up, man.
You got to.
You got to talk them up, man. You got to make them feel important, man.
Yep.
You got to make sure, you got to make them feel like they relevant, man. Like what they saying, you care. Like what they saying makes sense. Even if it don't make sense,
Mm-hmm.
make it make sense to them.
That's
You know what I'm
right.
saying, man? You know, let it make sense to you because a lot of times, man, it's the emptiness.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, no father,
Man.
you know, no financial background, a lack of education.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Poverty, 35. Second all is 35% is the bottom.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that these guys, man, they just want to be respected, man. They just want a person to respect them. Listen, okay, like I say, we know what you will do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But that same 2.3 pounds of pressure can get you a life bit, young man.
That's right.
You know, so you got to think about when you pull the trigger, you know, and you get caught for these consequences. You know, I understand if you got the battery in your pack and you running around with it now, but when you get caught with it,
Man.
and that's what I try to get them to understand. You know, I've been down that road. I've been in level 4, just
Mm-hmm.
making mistakes, man. Just lost out here, man. Not having no sense of direction, run around desultory, run around aimlessly, you
Mm-hmm.
know, just following the crowd. You know, so that's why I am who I am today.
That's right.
You know,
Well
because I've
respect.
been, yeah, you know, I've been there, man. I've been in there, man. That's not the way we want to go. You
No.
know, we don't want to keep filling these penitentiaries up with our black men when we
Yeah.
got all these opportunities out here for our people, man, in ways to advance.
Yeah. And there's so many opportunities for our people, man.
Yeah,
But it's like you
especially in this
said,
digital age.
yep. And it's like you said, to me, I commend brothers that went away from. I always call it vacation. Like I
Right.
tell my partners, my cousins, he was going for a little vacation, and when you come
Mm-hmm.
back from vacation, I love for you to come back and talk to
A
my guy.
minor setback for a major comeback.
Man, there it is. Boom.
Mhm.
He said it. Because and then like you said, and give you a time to sit down, build your mind up, educate yourself, man, so you can come back and help others. Because we
Mhm.
only strongest. Like if me and you can't help each other, bro,
Yeah.
that's an issue.
Yeah.
And that's why even as a coach, man, I try to reach out to other coaches in our city, help them. It's oh, they don't like it, man. I get along with everybody. My thing is, man, we all gonna eat, but my thing number one, let's help these kids at the end of the day.
Because at the, you know, and I'm gonna just be honest, it's like we're gonna have to look over a certain generation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hate to say it,
Mm-hmm.
hate to say it, but I'm just keeping 100.
Oh, for real.
We're gonna have to look over that 18 to 25, that generation, man.
Yeah. And that's the truth. Because they set in them ways. And it's only two ways for them.
Like the 13, the 14, the 15-year olds. We really probably gonna have to give our energy. That's what we're gonna have to give our energy to, so they don't grow up to be them 18, 19, 20, that you can't tell none to. That I don't look up to OGs. I don't look up to nobody. Nobody can tell me nothing.
Mm.
But here it is. How can you learn anything, or how can you master anything when nobody can tell you nothing? So you mean to listen, when I was going off my own thoughts and living every day how I wanted to live in my own mind, it wasn't doing nothing but sending me to penitentiary.
Mm.
That's all it was doing.
See?
Because I wasn't listening to nobody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I thought I knew it all. I had it. I had it figured out. Yep, sure did. Right there in St. Louis level 4, waiting on child.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that we gotta listen to somebody, man.
Exactly.
I was at the point I wasn't listening to nobody.
Yep.
But when I got behind that steel door, I said to myself, man, you got to get some direction about your life.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you don't get no direction about your life, man, this is gonna be your life sitting here on this bunk. And that's when I picked up different authors, man, and I started reading, man, started to understand how just understanding what a thought was. I
Exactly.
never even knew what a thought was.
Wow. That's powerful.
So I realized that thoughts were things.
Mm-hmm.
that I couldn't allow certain thoughts to enter my mind.
Hmm.
So what I did is I had to take control of my thinking.
Yeah.
When I have a negative thought and I'm thinking pessimistically, channel it or sublimate it with a good thought, a positive
Hmm.
thought. I had to start there first to
Yeah.
start knowing I could transition my own mind without being influenced by nothing else. That I was the main influencer of my own mind and not the world.
Look at
You
that.
know, because in order to get myself together, I had to go back to a place of reparation.
Hmm.
As kids, man, growing up in these one parent homes, man, growing up in poverty, we be broke, man. We be
Yeah.
hurt.
We'll be hurt.
I understand these kids crashing out, man. They feel like don't nobody love them. They don't have nothing to live for. I
Hmm.
understand them. And I
Yeah.
wish I can reach out and touch each and just, be able to give each and every one of them some game. But
Yeah.
some you can't because they too far out there.
They are. You right.
And a lot of times, consequences is what come with transition, right? A lot
Mm-hmm.
of people ain't gonna change until what? Once you implement consequences, then that's what make you think about what you just did. If your little baby playing with a plug and you smack his hands, and that little baby, so next time that little baby gonna think about the plug.
That's
But these kids now in this generation now, consequences is not even enough.
right. Hmm. That is true. They even glorify death, man.
So
Yeah.
this is what I'm trying to tell you. The consequences is not even enough, man,
That's
to
right.
make them stop.
That's right.
So it's sad, man. We going into it's sad to say we going into a dark, 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 dark
Mm.
area,
Yeah.
especially in the black culture.
Yeah.
So like I say, with our podcast, man, we just want to put light, add beauty to the community.
Yeah.
Because the community and just the whole, even just think about over the 4th of July weekend, that guy in Philly, he just shoot. Come on, man.
Yeah. Then I just seen I think last night, I don't know what state, I don't want to be wrong, but 9 people got shot. Then the week before that, Baltimore had 31.
We
You
living
know,
in a dangerous time right now, Coach
we
Marshall.
are. We are, man. If you ain't prayed up, you got your life right, man, it's gonna be
And
rough.
you gotta live it. And I tell people to live it, man, because one thing we destined to do, and that's is die. You
That
know
is
what I'm saying? Like we can't shake that, we can't deny that, we can't look past that. So
no,
I tell each and everybody, live it's a lot of tumultuous things, chaotic things, a lot of negative things that's going on. But make sure you live out a positive life and make sure you enjoy your life.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Just don't allow that to occupy your life and time as to where you don't have no enjoyment out of your own life.
exactly. And that's true. That's how I do every day, bro. Gotta live
Hmm.
it one day
You
at a
gotta
time.
live some.
But I gotta live. I mean, I'm blessed to turn 53 yesterday.
I
You know,
said, man, and I want to happy birthday too. I want to wish you
appreciate that,
happy
bro.
birthday, man.
For
What you
real.
do for your birthday?
You know what, man? First off, I had go to bury a friend of mine yesterday. Uh,
Oh, sorry to hear that.
35. Yeah, his name was Chris Hayes. He
Okay.
passed away, man. So I went to his funeral yesterday morning. Then after that, man, had to get my spirits back up. I just hung out with family, man. My grandkids, my wife, my son, my daughters, and I just did family things.
Hmm.
And that was all I need. Like I told my brother today, I'm at 53 years old. I ain't gonna be out here clubbing, partying.
Yeah.
I woke up on this
Yeah.
side of the ground. I'm happy.
Man, listen. Woke up alive and free, and the rest on me.
Man, I love it.
you know.
I love it. For real, bro.
And like I say, man, just to be able to wake up, man, and I tell everybody, we live in, outside of all the negativity that's going on, we
Mhm.
living in some of the greatest times right now.
Man, for
With
real.
this digital age, with this stuff, man, I just thank God for the opportunity to be doing what I'm doing.
For real.
I'm an underachiever. I've been to prison, man. I'm a deep prefix.
For
I just, like I say, with these podcasts, man, to give guys like me an opportunity to be a voice.
That's
I
right.
would have never thought in my life that I was a voice in the
Man,
community.
for real. I'm the same way, bro. Same
Right.
way. Never thought I'd be on the computer and internet talking to people and and then researching and having conversations and going to different events, man.
Yeah.
It's
I
different.
was just thinking today, man. I was just thinking today as I was getting ready for your podcast. I was just thinking today, man, how I went back to my first podcast. I went back to the first time I sat down by myself and I say, wow, now today I'm on other people's show. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying?
It's something.
Like I went from that to, and it just shows, man, like you just measure yourself from where you started from to where you at now, man. And like I say, it's just beautiful,
That's
man.
right.
It's just beautiful. Life is beautiful.
That's right.
Outside the negativity of things that's going on,
Yep.
like life is real beautiful.
That's true. It's like I tell everybody, it's what we make it, man. We can make
It
it
is.
hard, or we can take it one day at a time and be the most peaceful thing ever, man. And I just want to enjoy every day I can right now and live it to the
Hmm.
fullest, for real.
Yeah. And
You
you can't let all this stuff bother you. You know what I'm
know,
saying? I mean, you allow yourself to be bothered by a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that's listening to this podcast, I know a lot of stuff going on, but you allow yourself to be bothered
mm,
by it. You have to take that same energy and you have to use that negativity as fuel and
yes,
to gas up your purpose.
that's
You
true.
know what I'm saying? Allow life to be your purpose. Find your purpose in life and know how to step foot in your purpose and know how to live within your purpose. It's gonna be hard. A lot of people not gonna accept it, but it's not for
Mhm.
them to accept. It's a
That's right.
challenge for you.
That's right.
A lot of people get into this stuff and they do it for other people. No,
Mm,
this is for you.
that's
This
right.
is a challenge for you. Is this, because we don't never want to start something and stop it,
Mm,
especially with podcasting.
nah.
You know what I'm saying? You never want to stop that. And a lot of
Mm,
people have ran out of gas.
yep.
You know what I'm saying? With their podcast. But the thing about it is when you have a purpose in life and you have a message that you getting out there to people,
Yeah.
you'll never run out of
It never
gas.
run out. It
You'll
never.
never run out of
When
gas.
you're genuine. That's one thing I learned too, especially listening to a lot of people, like you said earlier. There's a lot of messy podcasters out here, do that because it's people that want that. But when you know you coming from your heart and you genuine about it, stay true to it. God gonna keep on blessing you and showing you what you need to discuss anyway.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
why it was real important for me to get with you on here because I was like, it was something saying you got to get him on there, coach. You got to get him.
Yeah.
So
And
we,
I appreciate it too, Coach
oh, yeah,
Marshall. You know what I'm saying? You done a lot for the city, man. You
thanks.
know what I'm saying? You done did a lot, for the athletic community. I mean, hats off to you, man, and what you have done for the city of
Respect.
Saginaw, man,
Yes,
and
sir.
what you continue to keep doing. Man, I wish you all
Mm,
none but prosperity, man, with your podcast. I think your podcast is one of the most unique podcasts, and we need more coaches doing a podcast,
yeah.
and bringing that sports world to us, bringing
Mhm.
certain things that we is oblivious to the light.
That's true. That's true.
Like I say, all these podcasts is, we have so many different plethora of personalities, and
Yes.
that's the unique thing about it.
That's what it's about. You'll never get on the podcast and say, "Oh, he sound like them." Nah, I ain't heard
Yeah,
it yet. Now I've been
yeah,
listening, like you said, about 5 years now. You know,
yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
on all these little social sites, and you see all the different podcasts. I'm like, oh, okay. Now check it out, and boom,
Hmm.
like you said, when I
Yeah.
get in the car, man, I'm popping podcasts in instead of
Right.
music sometimes.
What's your favorite podcast?
Man, right now, be honest with you, the pivot is my favorite.
The
I
pivot
love
is
the
good.
pivot, you know, and then I just start watching my future wifey.
Okay.
That's another deep brother. He got one, but I'm just so over. But every week I'm on the pivot constantly though.
Yeah.
And I just seen these three brothers now. They call Neat and Clean or Nice and Clean.
Mm.
They come with some deep conversations as well. So that's
Mm-hmm.
what, and I try to find local people from
Mm-hmm.
Saginaw, Detroit area. I like
Mm-hmm.
the state champs out of Detroit, Coach George Ward and them. Man,
Mm-hmm.
they're another good podcast. Come on Thursday nights. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm constantly all over the place, man, with
Yeah.
computer on one, phone on one, and the iPad on one. I'm all out, man.
Hey, listen. Hey, I was walking, man. Me and my girl was walking today, man. We was over there at the park, and I was walking and editing the show. We
See,
really couldn't even spend no time together
see,
because I was walking and editing the show. So
and
she just like,
yeah. But like even my wife, she knows it's my
yeah,
passion. I mean,
yeah,
like sitting here started the more than the coach one. I flipped around, man. One day, God gave me that hunch again and said, "Man,
mm,
spend some time with your wife." And I got with
mm.
her, and now we got a Mr. and Mrs. Marshall podcast too that we talk about life,
I
love,
be seeing
and relationship. You know,
that. Hey, listen, I be seeing it. I be
yeah,
watching it.
yeah. We just took
Hey,
it,
listen, I love it. I be watching it.
bro. Appreciate it, man. We just trying to
Yeah.
be transparent because, like we talked about, we gonna always be real because everybody want to claim it's perfect. We ain't perfect.
Mm.
We none of us perfect people, man. But we trying to work our way to be perfect together. So that's
And
what we.
that's the only thing we could do is work on our way. You know
That's
what
it.
I'm saying?
Yep.
Work on improvement, man, and just try to uplift each other, man, and try to, stop talking down on each other.
Yeah, for
You know
real.
what I'm saying? Lift on your brother, lift up your sister, talk your brother up, talk
Hmm.
your sister up.
Man, that's
Like I say, we ain't nothing but a small family in Saginaw.
that's it.
You know,
That's
all
it.
them people that got shot,
Man.
man, come on, look how many people it affected.
Yeah. It affected all.
All the family, everybody a family.
Yep. Everybody.
At the end of the day, man. So hopefully, man, that this chaos will come to an end in Saginaw.
Yeah.
So
I hope so, and I pray every day to God, man, that keep blessing and keeping His hands on our city, because we
yeah,
need, we
yeah,
need it, bro. So with
yeah.
that being said, I ain't gonna hold you too much longer, bro. I know it's Sunday evening, but is it anything you got you want to leave for my listeners, man?
I would like everybody to come out to Trap the Runway this Friday, July 14th, where we, stop the hate and come create. That's
There it
what
is.
we about. My first annual entrepreneur showcase as to where we will be putting a light on the business culture in Saginaw, and we will be showcasing entrepreneurs throughout the city. There's something new, it's something vibrant. This is something that has never been done before, and we got music, we got clothes, we got fashion, we got hair, we got politicians. Man, we just got a plethora of a genre of all kind of people, man, that's gonna come down there. We're gonna be podcasting. We're gonna have a lot of podcasts in the house. We're gonna have
Mhm.
Coach Marshall in the house. We're
Yes,
gonna
sir.
have Mike
Yes, sir.
Donald in the house. We're gonna have William Brown in the house, man. We're gonna have man, Feeling Good podcast, man. We're gonna
Hmm.
have a lot of them boys in there, So,
And
like I say, just come out, stop the hate and come create.
that's right, y'all. And y'all heard it from my partner right here, y'all. Y'all like Chronicles. Y'all tune in, check him out. Great podcast, great man. Hey, like we
Yeah.
said, bro, we all can do better. How do you say it when you say it? We better together.
We
Let's
better together than separated. Yeah. And you
love.
guys can follow me on Yacht Life Chronicles on YouTube. You can follow me on Yacht Life Chronicles on Instagram. And you can follow me on Fortitude Yacht Life on Facebook.
There it is, man. So, hey, once again, bro, I thank you. I salute you for coming on the More Than the Coach podcast, my brother.
Thank
And
you for
I'll,
having me.
yes, sir. And I'll see you Friday.
See you
I'll,
Friday.
I'll be in the building. Yes, sir.
All right.
All right,
Thank
now
you.
you have a blessed night, bro.
You too.
All right, now. Peace out.
Mhm. Peace out.
All right. So y'all heard it, man. We just had a great interview, fellas, ladies, with Yacht Life Chronicles. Y'all definitely check him out on this podcast. Hey, I want to thank my sponsors also tonight, Media D, Baldwin Multimedia, and Beautifully Just Being Me, Hair and Beard Oil, for supporting me tonight on this podcast. And also, we got to always give future love to the podcasters. So y'all check it out for All Ears Podcast. It's a young man, Darian Adams, another up and coming podcaster in the city of Saginaw. Y'all check him out. Hey, I appreciate it once again. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Y'all have a blessed night. Oh, yeah, and one more thing. Thanks for all the birthday love and wishes this weekend. I appreciate it. This your boy, Coach Marshall from the More Than the Coach podcast. Peace. What's up, y'all? This your boy, Coach Marshall, and welcome to the More Than the Coach Show, the #1 podcast in the city of San. You heard me?